because we have no other choice. It's either we come out of this victorious, or we die as a nation and we die as a country.
Welcome back, Lesia. Very nice to have you on the programme. And perhaps a glimmer of hope, some good news. What are MPs being told? Can you confirm whether these reports about Kharkiv are true?
The reports are absolutely true. We have videos that actually prove that, where there's a small regiment of soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers, who have actually put back the markings of the Ukrainian-Russian border with the Ukrainians' flag on it. So this is undoubtedly good news, but still we also have information that there were explosions in the Kharkiv region. Nobody got hurt, but even today we still have signs that the Russians are trying to go on the attack again. But I don't think it will be realistic in the Kharkiv region, although the other eastern regions, such as Donetsk and Luhansk, they are under much, much heavy fighting.
Yeah, we're hearing less reports from them at the moment. What's the situation there, as you understand it, in those more heavily fortified by the Russian regions?
In the Luhansk region, we had information from the head of the military civil administration that over 90% of the region is under Russian control and occupation. Only 10% is held by the Ukrainian troops, but still heavy fighting is going on. In both Donetsk and Luhansk region, Russia is trying to mobilize the Ukrainian population. The people living in those so-called republics, people's republics of Donetsk and Luhansk, and they're trying to push them and use them as cannon fodder in the battles that are ongoing. That's not going well with the local population, despite them apparently being pro-Russian, but it just shows that there's no way they're going to fight against Ukraine. They have been clear about that, and nonetheless, at gunpoint, these men are being forced into the ranks of the Russian military to be used as cannon fodder, as I said.
And some unwelcome activity on the Belarusian border as well, no?
Well, there I would say it's a much, much more controllable situation. We do have risks of attacks a bit all over Ukraine, but still the main areas where the Russians are concentrating their activity are the south and the east of Ukraine, so all along the border with Russia, and also all of the areas which give Ukraine access to the Black Sea.
And what sort of impact would you say that the Kharkiv news has had on people in Ukraine? I mean, I know it's a small victory, but it's a significant one, and it feels like, like good news in the face of what we've had for weeks and months. So much bad news. Has it given people some much needed hope that Ukraine can win this, in the words of Jens Stoltenberg?
Well, yes, it's inspiring. It brings hope. Such news are always a glimmer of victory, which we believe in firmly every single day of the 82 days that Russia's aggression has escalated. Ukrainians have been confident in the victory of Ukraine because we have no other choice. It's either we come out of this victorious, or we die as a nation and we die as a country. And that's why the second option is clearly not an option. So every single news that we have of Ukraine regaining positions, of towns and cities and villages being deoccupied, of the Ukrainian flag being flown in regions that were under heavy Russian attack, we take it as a little sign that victory is that one step closer. And that also gives us the strength to fight for the rest of the territories which are still under occupation.
And with the relative peace in large parts of the Ukraine that were previously under bombardment and so on, have you seen people returning to the country, or is there still very much a sense from those who've managed to escape the fighting that things are still very complicated and insecure?
People are returning for sure. Yesterday was the day which had a record number of Ukrainians cross the border over from different countries into Ukraine, and we now know that over 1 million of the people who previously fled have returned to their homes and are re-establishing their lives in Kiev, in the vicinities of Kiev, in the small towns of Bucha, Irpin, Berdyanka, and so on. And also people are even coming back to Kharkiv, despite the fact that the fighting just ceased just very, very recently. But today, some other footage which has inspired smiles across the many Ukrainians is the fact that the buses have started going again in Kharkiv. The public transportation is going back to normal. The mayor of Kharkiv has said that the metro is going to be operational by the end of the week, and that the metro stations of Kharkiv have been housing over 15,000 people through these days of occupation and heavy firing of that city by the Russian army. So things are going back to normal. There's a lot of footage of that, and it just gives hope, and it just gives meaning to what Ukraine is doing, that this fighting is not in vain, that these cities are still livable, that Ukrainians are coming back to rebuild and to re-strengthen Ukraine, and really that the country is flourishing despite all.
And of course, you are Eurovision Song Contest winners, with the Kalush Orchestra walking away as the winners. Are they now back on the front line, as they said they would be doing, following that? And how much of a lift was just? I mean, it was such a kind of brilliant, life-affirming moment, wasn't it?
Absolutely. In Ukraine, we say that this is just a first of many victories yet to come. And as far as I know, yes, the boys are back, and they are defending the country. But I think still that their biggest contribution to Ukraine's defense efforts was their performance. I can't imagine how hard it must have been to go up on that stage, to sing, to dance, to light up the audiences when so many deaths are going on in Ukraine, and when the whole country is on fire from the Russian missiles and the Russian artillery. So that was an act of courage in itself. And then when they also came out and with that strong message, help Mariupol, help Azovstal, that was incredible, because the number of hits on Google about Azovstal just increased momentarily. And that's amazing, because that just brought the attention to yet another war crime, yet another atrocity which is being committed by Russia still today, now as we speak. And just getting the world's attention around that is in itself an act, a step to making it stop. So a very big thank you to the Kalish Orchestra, and of course the fact that Ukraine won with such great support of Ukrainians living in exile and refugees across Europe, and also of all the European countries. That was amazing.
Indeed, and a great song too. It's very nice to be talking good news with you, Lesia Vasylenko. I hope we can continue to do so. That was the Ukrainian MP Lesia Vasylenko joining me from Kyiv.